first business lesson you ever learned?
Know your pitch. Say what you need to say quickly. Learn how to convert people.
Biggest source of inspiration?
Olivia Pope.
Oh, vibes. Vibes.
Like the Prada bag, the walk, the hair, like
Yes.
just getting everything done all the time.
Welcome to More Than the Hype, the podcast where we go beyond the surface, beyond the trends, and straight into real, unfiltered conversations about business. I'm your host, Kristin Taylor. Grab a glass of wine from KT Winery or water because moisture is important. And let's get into it because success is more than just the hype. Hey, Kelly.
Hi.
Hi. So January 8th, a big thing happened.
You know.
We launched American Airlines.
I'm so happy.
It's insane.
How does it feel?
Honestly, for me, it was like, what? Like, that was like my real feeling was like, what? I fly a lot, as you do. We travel a lot. So it's something you think about frequently. It was like, how can I be on this airline? So one of the first thoughts Macy and I originally had was like, oh, how does one even do that? Like, how does one even get on American Airlines? How much wine do we have to make? Who do we need to know? And it seems so far-fetched that we just let it go.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Kelly. I make people's dreams come true.
Hey! Well, fast forward, one of our investors, well, soon to be investors, was like, hey, I met this woman. You should talk to her. And didn't really give me much else. I didn't even know what we were talking about. But I was like, I trust him enough. Yeah. Cool, let me hop on the phone. And it is you.
It was me.
So you are the one who brought us the American Airlines deal.
Yeah.
Secret sauce. Less secret now.
I mean, less secret. Like, let's put it on a banner.
Yeah. Literally got KT Winery into American Airlines.
Yeah. It made me so happy to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. And to say, I'm creating opportunity for other entrepreneurs, for Black women, too.
Tangible.
Yeah. I want to put money in your pocket.
Because you haven't done it just for us. It's for other people, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't say it yet.
I know. We can't say. I found out. But it's like a real, tangible, one, it's financially impactful for the business. 2, it's credibility. 3, it's literally dreams. Tell me about how you go about sourcing companies for these types of deals.
Yeah. We have a large network of entrepreneurs. So Guava, we built a financial platform, we built a community, and my perspective has always been we, Black entrepreneurs, are lacking in lots of ways, but the thing that is most significant, the thing that we feel the most is a lack of network. And I wanted to be able to step in and fill that gap. And so, I think there's sourcing looks different for different industries, right? I don't know a lot about wine, but I think, having other folks that I can ask and say hey, what's your perspective on that? Who would be good for this is really important. So having the social capital, having the relationships, having the investors helps. And then also for this specific, knowing that you all are in Target and you're in Total Wines gave me the confidence that you'd be able to fill the PO,
right.
That you'd be able to grow with this partnership and that would be meaningful for you. Yeah, because ultimately, you guys weren't the only ones that we were talking to. Right. But you stood out immediately. And I was like, oh, no.
Do you remember that call when you called? I was in Martha's Vineyard. And so it was fast. It was a fast experience. It was maybe 3 weeks?
Oh, yeah. I was like, hurry up.
And I was sitting at Black Ambition and brought me to Martha's Vineyard. I'm sitting there looking at Felicia. Was like, I got to go. I gotta go. And so I'm running to find a little cafe. I'm pitching. 3 hours later, you call me and say, great, send a sample.
Yeah.
Sample got there. What? A day later, you call me?
Something like that, yeah.
And you said, bet. I have news. And I was crying. I was in an Uber.
Oh.
Heading to another investor meeting. Leaving a different meeting. And because, Martha's Vineyard in August is just Black people trying to make stuff happen. And I was in the Uber crying so hard I forgot to call Macy. I think I called you back. I was like, hey, That was real, right? Like, how does that feel to like deliver the news?
Like, you were crying, I was crying.
Yeah.
Like, my like raison d'etre, the reason I built Guava is to do this, to support Black entrepreneurs, to be able to say, like, however I can help you, if I can get you in American Airlines, if I can get you in the Hilton. If I can help you find investors, right? I want to do that. If I can help you find the right accountant and the right lawyer, like, that is the ecosystem that we've built. And this was like the biggest proof point that, one, we could do it, and we could do it at scale with large corporate partnerships, and that it was needed. That entrepreneurs were out there building amazing brands and just needed the like right connection to be able to like bring their genius to market.
Well, they say that your network is your net worth, and this is a literal manifestation of what that means.
Yeah.
Right? The building a relationship, building trust, getting the job done creates more opportunity with the people that you want to work with, right?
I mean, and it's true for us too. So like, we didn't know each other.
Yeah.
And it was quick on my end. It's like, how quickly can you get like 4 or 5 Black-owned wines that could fulfill this like quantity? I'm like, okay, first of all, there's not that many.
Like, okay.
I've known about Mom Juice. I've known about KT Winery, I think from Instagram, honestly.
Nice job, guys.
And looked you up on LinkedIn. We had a couple connections, and I reached out. I was like, hey, can y'all connect me real quick? And I think it was like also me being able to tap my network to say, how can you get me in touch? I have a great opportunity. It's real and it's moving quickly. What can we do? And I think the same thing. Like, I've built a company. I've like proven myself over and over and over again.
Literally.
So the people that, you know, I had to reach out to or did reach out to trusted that I would honor the connection and that I would do right by the folks that they were introducing me to.
There's so many ways I could take this conversation with you, because you have you're going to obviously learn more about Kelly in this podcast, but Kelly has lived a lot of lives. From living in different countries to different professions to extreme accolades. And now you've built Guava. So let's back in, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Guava. Tell us about Guava quickly, because then I have so many questions.
Yeah. Guava, we built the first digital banking platform for Black entrepreneurs, and our perspective is that entrepreneurs need a community, so we built a community platform on top of that. And so that is Guava. We launched in 2021, and we are really diving into the community aspect of it now with some in-person engagements. So we do dinners, we do a supper club, we do like sprint masterminds on Saturdays with founders. So yeah, we've been doing a lot with Black entrepreneurs.
And I can say for certain that she does an amazing job. You helped me with my deck. Kelly was like, I don't know what that was, but no, it was great. No, she was great. But I want to talk, obviously, people probably slightly caught the word bank. You really moved past that fast in your talk track there. But like, how many Black-owned banks are there? Do you know?
Okay, we are technically...
we'll start from there. Digital banking platform. Yeah, sorry. Don't come for me. One, I just did a podcast about imposter syndrome and how I don't think women have that. Black women don't have that. That's just something patriarchal BS. So I'm going to say, where did you get the gumption?
To do it. You know, I don't know. I always say, I didn't wake up one day. I was like, you know what I'm going to do? It's Wednesday. I feel like I'm going to just start a fintech.
Call me JP Morgan and Chase.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think the question I was trying to answer for a long time was like, how do I support Black entrepreneurs? I was in venture and I was working with folks on their deck and making intros and doing this stuff on the side of my desk. And there was this white paper that talked about the trajectory of Black wealth in the country and said, basically, if we keep going the way that we're going, the average net worth of a Black family will be $0 in 2050. I was like, okay, cool. How do I make a dent in that? How do I change that trajectory? And I didn't believe that only supporting venture scale entrepreneurs was going to do it. And I wanted to, build something that would support barbers and venture scale entrepreneurs and bakers and people who were creating companies in their living rooms and at their kitchen tables and helping them with whatever success looked like, however they defined it. I wanted Guava to be the platform that supported them. And so I got to Capital. I was like, all right, well, people need money.
I need money.
Yeah, I need money. People need money. Everybody need money. And that is how, like, through that, like, line of questioning is like, all right, I think banking is a way to do it, a way to start to, like, ingest information that could allow me to understand a business.
Yeah.
And make the right points of connection for them.
And it wasn't just you who thought this was a good idea, because there was this list that came out of, was it 51 or 52 women who've raised over $1 million since 2021? Black women, which I want to let you know, that's a bad number.
No, it's not good.
That's a sad number. It is incredibly impressive, but I wish it was less impressive.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's also just, like, acknowledging that Rihanna is also on that list.
But, like,
so it's just like,
you are on a list with Rihanna.
But the
Ain't
fact
that,
that, they're like, oh, 51 women, including a billionaire. It's just like, we got to do better.
We got to do better.
Got to do better.
But you did it. How was that process? Speaking of venture-backable businesses, and then I want to talk about how you pivoted and shifted.
Yeah.
And how you explain that to those investors to get to the T.
Fundraising is hard. It's hard. Like, I worked in venture, and it was still, like, an uphill battle, right? And I think
how much did you raise?
$2.5 million.
Super casual.
Like 2.5. It was hard. It was hard. I pitched hundreds of investors. I never counted. I was, like, not one of the people who were like, I'm going to know exactly the number of VCs I pitched. It was just like, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. And was told over and over again that, like, this isn't going to work, that it's not necessary, that community, like, Black entrepreneurs don't need community. It's not a growth area. That, oh, we did this. We invested in something for Latino communities and it didn't work. So, like, we can't invest in you. Or we invested in Greenwood. So, like, we did our Black thing. Just like,
I think I told you this. Like, we get so many investors, like white male investors that say, mom juice. I don't know. It feels kind of niche.
Women,
women are
kind of niche.
Super niche.
So niche.
Fuck off. But I'm like, it's 51% of people. Black people account for how much of America now? 13%,
$41 trillion in buying power. Like, just all
insane.
All the numbers.
Insane.
And, like, I'm a person who's going to obviously read the white paper, have the data. And so I'm leading with that. I'm, like, playing offense and saying, like, here's the market. Here's the opportunity, right? This is the gap that we're filling. Here's a concentration. We don't even have to, like, do all this, like, pray and spray, because Black people are in, like, 5 cities in the country, right? It's like 5 industries, all of these things that to me made it an obvious opportunity. Investors still saw me, little Black girl, talking about Black people, like, unapologetically. I'm not saying, like, minority. I'm not saying underserved. I'm saying Black. Because I'm like...
And you didn't say African American.
No. Because I'm not... that's what I call myself Black. We call ourselves...
I'm Black.
So I'm speaking to the people who need to hear it.
Yes.
And maybe that was a mistake to use that same language with investors, all the things.
It's a strategic decision. Yeah. I think. Yeah.
But at the time, it was also post George Floyd. And so
it was the right time.
Yeah. So there was investor appetite to an extent. There was investor appetite to take the call for sure. I met with everyone. But when it came down to cutting a check, there was less appetite, of course.
Girl, they love to come to the table. They love to be fed. But they don't like to send the thank you card.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was hard. I built strategy. I built the resilience. I had, there were funds that we talked to at length and did diligence, and they said no. And I was surprised and cried, and there were all kinds of things. And we found investors that were on board, and they're still my greatest supports.
I love
some of my greatest supports. So
how did you explain the pivot to them when you decided to really? I mean, because Guava has truly transformed itself, right? And it's working.
Yeah.
How did you explain that pivot? Was it just implicit trust? How is it a update? I think founders right now are in this phase of figuring out where rubber meets the road. Other founders are figuring out, okay, so maybe I thought it was this thing. It's actually this thing. How do I clue them in, key them in, and get them excited about this? How did you do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the excitement is building now. I don't know that they were excited when I was like, I think we need to shift our focus. But there were a few things. The market changed. Fintech is still recovering as an industry. We had a couple major bank closures. So I think, there was just weariness from investors, including my own, of what's going to happen. And then I was excited. I knew that there was something there. I knew that people were yearning for community, that the country is more tribal, unfortunately, now, but it also meant that we are looking to each other for support more now than ever. And it was also part of our DNA all the time. Community was always part of our DNA. It was how we acquired customers early. It was what made us different from some of the other neobanks. So it wasn't a complete departure. I wasn't building a video game and then decided to build a messaging app.
No,
right?
yeah.
I mean, that's a Slack story, right?
Always. Oh, yeah, it's true. Oh, wow. That's true.
So it wasn't that. And it was kind of saying we were leaning into something, a part of our business that has been working well.
So do you call in that instance? Are you emailing? Are you...
Oh, tactically, what am I doing?
Yeah, what's the tactical?
Yeah, what did I do? We were meeting regularly, so monthly, bi-monthly.
So they were not surprised.
They weren't surprised.
It wasn't a okie doke. And I think that's really important for people to hear. It's not, you can't pull an okie doke. You got to communicate.
Yeah. And and I will say it's hard. I would much rather pull an okie doke because then I'm just doing the thing.
Building uninterrupted, right? Building without the pressure, but
having these constant conversations of explaining a thing or writing an update where you don't feel like you have anything worthy of the email, worthy of the real estate. Sucks. Those months where you're just
we posted these Instagram videos. We got 100 views.
Right. It's just what?
You're I am a clown.
Yeah. So that doesn't feel good. And I don't know that it will ever feel good to write an investor update that isn't rainbows and sunshine. And I don't know that I have great advice for that because I still try to how do I make this sound like a rainbow? And it's just a thunderstorm. But I do think that the action, the activity of sitting down at my computer or having it on my calendar, I know I need to write this. It just forces me to reflect a little bit more. Right. And so I'm just all right, half the time they're not reading it that closely anyway. I mean, sometimes they are. And sometimes
I swear one of my biggest investors has never opened a single update. Never. I actually know for a fact because I use a specific sending platform. I know you haven't opened it and you're not going to look at this. He's just you got it.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out.
Which
and I love it.
I appreciate it, right? I appreciate you. Don't bother me. I am figuring it out. And I think especially with early stage investors, they invested in me. There wasn't a thing that they were investing in early on. So I think they do trust me. I know that they have to trust me at this point.
Yeah.
One of them who said, whatever you do next, I'm definitely in. I was I'm not done with this thing.
Yeah,
I was actually really offended.
Chill, bruh.
And he meant it to be this vote of confidence.
Right.
And I was just nah, we still on this.
Pause.
We still doing this.
Yeah.
So the wheels fall off. Oh, the wheels don't ever fall off.
No. We put rims on, okay?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because I think one thing I hear from you and see from you is that you were very qualified for the trust and the blessing and, maybe right time, maybe right place. But at the end of the day, you as a founder were qualified for this. And founder qualification to me is very different than if you were to be a CEO somewhere else, right? That's Macy and I's favorite joke. No one would have made us the CEO of a company. You built it, right? But there was a version of qualification that says, Kelly, we're going to trust her with this. You're building Guava. You're building community of founders, of people who look like us specifically. What does qualified look like from a Guava standpoint to engage with you from a community standpoint? And what do you think we need to do as people of color right now to show that qualification? Or is it a F the qualification, whatever? Like, what's your thoughts?
See, I'm more of a F the qualification person. Because I don't know that I felt qualified. Like, and we can run down all the...
I know my ass wasn't qualified.
But I still was just like, am I the right person to do this? Even though, like, I can tell you exactly why. I can have the talk track. But, like, did I feel it when I was sitting on the couch editing the deck? Sometimes, but I definitely had my friends, like, putting a battery in my back all the time, and they still do. So I say F the qualifications. I do. I think the qualification is, like, grit and hustle. Like, are you going to be the person that can take 1,000 no's and still just be like, let me just talk to one more person.
Let me work this out.
I when I applied to business school, I talked to the admissions guy, and it was late. It was like February, and the applications were like due in March or something, April. And he said, well, we accepted 80% of the class. And I was like, all right, cool. That's like 20%. I'm still pretty
dang good. Yeah.
And I was like, if there were any other qualification that I needed to know that I like was like I had the right temperament for this, it was that. It was like that moment where I was like, oh, you told me 80%, and I was like, I'm not waiting until next year. I got 20%. Applied to one school, super late, got in.
Hey,
and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm cut out for this.
Okay. So we're running low on time, but there's a couple things I have to do first. We have to do. I like a rapid fire question. So, keep it short, keep it spicy. Let's do this. First business lesson you ever learned.
First business lesson, know your pitch. Say what you need to say quickly. Learn how to convert people.
Facts. Biggest source of inspiration.
Olivia Pope.
Oh, vibes. Vibes.
Like the Prada bag, the walk, the hair, like just getting everything done all the time.
I'm obsessed. Favorite emerging trend in fintech right now? Ooh. Or we can say in business.
Okay, because this is rapid fire. Hillman Talk or TikTok University, I'm obsessed with.
Hillman Talk.
I love it. I love the idea of people like bringing their genius onto this like platform for everyone.
100%. I'm obsessed. Top business book recommendation.
Build. I forgot the author, but it goes through his entire like career journey, and it helps you think about product and leadership and all of these different elements. I love it. It's a great book.
Favorite TV show right now, any genre?
I watch bad TV.
Same.
Will Trent.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's like a detective show, and there's a little dog, and he's illiterate or dyslexic. He's dyslexic.
The dog?
Illiterate. The man.
Oh. As someone who's dyslexic, that's even funnier. Okay. Last question. Obviously, we're called More Than the Hype. So the question, did creating the bank live up to expectations at the end of the day? Was it more than hype, or was it not worth it?
It was worth it. It was worth it. It wasn't more than hype.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, Kelly, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for American Airlines, girl.
I'm so glad for you.
We did it.
I'm excited to fly American.
Yes.
At some point.
Everyone, grab your flight now. International. I'm kidding. Thanks, girl. That's a wrap for today's episode of More Than the Hype. If you love this conversation, make sure to subscribe and leave a review. It helps way more than you know. Until next time, stay bold, stay real, and keep chasing the hype.